So welcome back to Raymond Taylor. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe and like this video if you do enjoy the content. So today we're talking about how to change your mindset, something that I think a lot of people would love to learn how to do, and today I'm going to tell you how to do it. First of all, I'm sorry to shatter the belief in your mind that I was able to give you the answer directly in this video. Unfortunately, it's not quite as easy as just flicking a switch and the mindset has changed. Your mind is essentially the way that you see the world. It's a construct of behavior and values and perspectives and cultural beliefs and all sorts of different things that form the way that you see the world. It's as simple as that. And to say, how do I change my mindset, is similar to saying, how do I change my house, right? You might say, well, to change your house, you can't just change your house. You have to rebuild the foundations of the house. You need to change the furniture. You need to paint the walls. You need different ornaments. You know, there's lots of different component parts that make up something so large like your brain. The good news is we have neuroplasticity. Now, this is a scientific fact, which means our brains are malleable, which means they can be changed and adapted, and they can evolve. That's why times change, yet humans still exist, because we learn to adapt and exist with what we're getting given. 100 years ago, we'd get given a horse and cart and maybe a newspaper, and that's how we exist. And now we can live on social media and virtual reality, and life is fine because we've learned to adapt to those things, and our brain can adapt very, very quickly. So the good news is we can change it, but we have to break down certain component parts and break them down individually. The other good news is sometimes you can change parts of your mindset with just one question. That's why coaching is so powerful. It is simply questions that dig into parts of your mind that you're not used to thinking of. The brain is used to thinking in the path of least resistance, which means it thinks the way it usually always thinks. And when a coach asks you a question, it asks you a question in a part of your brain that you haven't accessed before. And this is where you start to evoke awareness, and here's where you start to be able to make some changes. So if I was to ask the question to you, how do you want to be remembered in this world? I'll just say that again. How would you like to be remembered in this world? A lot of things can change here, because what I'm tapping into is some very, very high level forms of your mind. The first two are vision and mission. So vision and mission is your purpose in life. Why are you actually here? Are you existing day to day? Or have you found that thing that gets you to spring out of bed in the morning and get to work? Or not necessarily get to work, but move into action to move closer towards your vision, mission, your why. These things can be so compelling that you force yourself to change parts of your identity and your values and your belief system, because the vision and the mission is so compelling. It also says a lot about your identity, because I said who, or I might have said what, but I could have also said, who would you like to be remembered as after you passed away? It's a slightly different changing question, and it shifted it from a mission and a vision point of view, like what are you going to do, to who do you want to become, or who do you want to be, or who do you want to be remembered as? Now, this is identity, so this is who you are. And again, this will change a lot about a lot of the things underneath, because you'll discover that there's lots of things in your way to become that person. And it's these things that you need to work on in order to be able to change your mindset, but also change your mindset in a way that's going to serve you. Because there's no point changing it, because you might change it for the worst, right? You can change your mindset. It's so malleable, and the brain is so complex that you could change your mindset to be a criminal if you wanted to. If you started watching enough documentaries and spending enough time with the wrong people and start experimenting with certain things, it wouldn't be long until you identified as being criminal or a gangster, and that's possible, right? Okay. Why I asked you the question, who do you want to be remembered as, or what do you want to be remembered for doing, is it allows you to really explore what you want to spend your time doing on this planet and what type of person that you would like to be. From there, you're going to start to realize where those empty voids are. How can I achieve that vision and that mission? And how can I become that person? And you'll identify certain things, certain characteristics that you will need to display in order to become that person. And then you work on those things one by one. And after a while, they'll start to compound, and it will create exponential growth. Because if you change one thing, it's good. You change two things, it's good. Change 10 things, they all merge together, and they all have a compounding effect, which leads to growth going through the roof. So ask yourself the question, what do I want to be remembered for? Or who do I want to be remembered for being? Or sometimes we even get our students on the accreditation that we do, our 12-week coaching program, is write down what they want somebody to write on their gravestone. We're also trying to build this one out in virtual reality at the moment in the metaverse, so you'll be able to be at your own funeral one day. But that's the story for another day. But what do you want written on your gravestone? And here you'll start to define maybe your values. Because if you want to be remembered as this happy, loving person, then you realize that love and happiness are a big value of yours. And if you don't have love and happiness in your life, then that's a part of your mindset that needs to be changed. All right, and then it gives you an area to focus on. And you start Googling how to have more happiness, how to have more love. And over a period of time, these things will start to make changes and your mindset will change. But there are other things we can do as well. Now, one of the biggest things that holds people stuck from changing is either the belief that it's not possible to change. So I used to hold that belief that it's not possible for me to change, or some other kind of limiting belief or somebody else's opinion that's stopping you from making the changes that you want to yourself. So when you think about change in your mindset, have a little think about, why aren't you changing your mindset? Do you have the fear of becoming too arrogant? Do you have the fear of failing? Do you have the fear of people laughing at you because you want to break away from the norm? What are those barriers that are in your way? Because change can happen, but you've got to be prepared to take that journey. And that's exactly what it is. It's a progressive journey where you start to learn more about yourself and you start to remove parts of yourself that don't serve you and you start to gain parts of yourself that do serve you. And it's an ever-evolving process. That's why it's called a growth mindset, because the mindset constantly grows. Every time you make a change, you reach a new layer and a new level of awareness of the next thing that you realize you need to change. And fortunately, that never stops. There's always more to learn. There's always a better person we can be. So having this ideology that you can just change your mindset is unrealistic. On the flip side, if you have a fixed mindset, which means that you don't really believe that you can grow your mindset, or you don't really believe that you can change, or you never will. So start there. Fixed mindset, growth mindset. Fixed mindset, I'm never going to change. Let's get that one out of the way with. That's not true. I'm proof of that one. I was a convicted criminal, now I'm a multimillionaire who travels the world. Change is possible, trust me. The second one is the growth mindset, and that's the process of ever-evolving development of yourself. Like we mentioned, your values, your beliefs, your identity, your vision, your mission, your behavior, even down to your environment and your friends, the people you spend time with, the things that you do, the things that you read. All of these things are going to contribute to changing your mindset. So as I wrap this up, go back to that question. Who do you want to be remembered as? What do you want to be remembered for? Okay, that's two questions. Use those both. This will allow you to define your vision and mission, and it will allow you to find the type of person that you want to be, which will uncover your values. Through this, you'll then start to need to map out what you need to obtain to become that person and achieve those things, and what parts of yourself you need to work on or remove that are not going to serve you, that are going to hold you back. Maybe they're limiting beliefs, maybe it's fear, shame, embarrassment, humiliation. These are the things we need to work on. So it's a progress, it's a progression. It's something that will take years. And I know that sounds like a long time, but you'll have wins along every stage of that journey. It's not like you take 2 years and then you get the growth mindset. It's like every day you have the opportunity to become a better person. And that starts to really compound over time. And the exponential, you've got linear, which is just a straight line of growth. And then you've got exponential, which is like a bit of a flat line and then a huge spike. That's what I see happening with people who focus on a growth mindset, because they absorb so many different things and so many different elements of their mind and take action that at some point starts to compound. But even then, you're still on a journey. You're still growing, you're still changing, you're still evolving, you're still adapting. And that's what the human species are designed to do. The human species isn't really designed to be successful, it's designed to survive. So we need to consciously make a decision on how we allow that evolution to take place. Do we allow it just to take place due to the factors that are around us, the government, the people in our lives, what they think about us, and then allow the evolution to take place in that form? Or do we take control and get complete clarity on the person that we want to be, the things we want to think, the things that are important to us, and start to work on those things and move in that direction? So that is how you begin, continue to change your mindset. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the subscribe and the notifications bell. I'd love to hear from you soon and you to listen to more of my content. And of course, drop me a comment if anything resonated with you, or if you've got any questions. I'd love to interact with you a little bit further. Over and out. And remember, you are in control, you are enough, you have enough, and you are loved enough. I'm Raymond Taylor, and I'm going to show you how to create a freedom-based online coaching business from scratch.